Got a busy week this week, man.
You did?
Oh yeah, we're trying to get stuff ready for Arch Madness.
Oh, I bet. Well, JP, how you been, buddy?
Yeah, man, it's been a wild week. I'm becoming into a salesman to say the least. I'll tell you that much.
I felt that. I've been quite busy this week trying to get everything or trying to get everything ready to put up Christmas decorations. But
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that this year.
yeah, you know what it is? It is time for the TJD Sports Podcast, JP. We're missing Dylan tonight. He had plans and he had stuff he had to take care of tonight. But Dylan, we'll keep you in our memory on this one, buddy. Um, JP, you ready? You ready to just dive in on some picks real quick? I say we just ramble through them. If we got some stuff we want to talk about these games with, then we can talk about it.
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
All right. So the first game we have on the slate is Iowa State and Arizona State. Little
That's a
it's championship weekend, man. Like a lot of things are going to get shaken up with these before we announce our picks. Like, a lot of things are going to get shaken up in the bracket this week.
yeah. This is definitely. I'm actually shocked to see, or curious to see more than shocked of what the committee does for these championship series, especially with teams that already have two losses and stuff like that.
Such as Georgia and all that. Yeah, like
Yeah,
this this is this is definitely a make or break week for a bunch of teams.
yeah.
And
So I'm actually really curious on how these shape out.
so, okay, but before we dive in real quick, so I asked Dylan this question the other day. Um, so Boise State, right? If
Hmm.
they let's just say for some reason they lose, right? They go from having the first round bye, or no, if they lose, they would be out,
Yeah,
wouldn't
they'd
they?
be out.
And then it'd be UNLV.
UNLV.
And then, but the thing is that at that point, the UNLV wouldn't have the bye if Arizona State wins.
Mm-mm.
It'd flip flop. So there's a lot riding on those two games right there. Just
Yeah,
those two alone.
and it's crazy. That game just kicked off. I think 7 minutes ago.
Did it really? Well,
Hmm.
well, I didn't know that. I thought that was tomorrow.
Yeah. No. Well, the Arizona State game is, but the UNLV Boise State is tonight.
Oh, well then I guess there. I didn't even think about tonight. I guess we can pick from that one too if you want.
That's
I didn't even think about that. I didn't think that they were starting tonight, or because didn't Army played yesterday, didn't they?
no, they're playing tonight as well.
I see. Like, I totally spaced on those two games. I didn't realize that those two were tonight. That's on me. I got to be better. I really got to be better on that one. That's on. Wow. But well, we'll just ramble through these picks that we have, and then we'll go with the ones tonight since I'm not going to pay attention to the scores for those games until after we pick. Okay.
Sounds good.
So first game we got on the slate is Iowa State and Arizona State. Who you got?
I think I'm gonna ride the hot hand here and ride with Arizona State. They've got something brewing down there, and it's honestly kind of scary. So I'm gonna go. Give me the Sun Devils.
Yeah, I'm. Dylan went with Arizona State as well. I think we're just going to go a clean sweep right there and just have all three of us go with Arizona State. I just think that they're playing really good right now, and I don't see that changing. Uh, Next game, this is the game I'm most excited about. I think this is going to be obviously earlier in the year it was a blowout, but I think this one's going to change. I think this game's either going to be closer or it's going to go the other way. It's Georgia versus Texas. Who you got?
Man, I've said it or not year after year, but week after week. Georgia, I can't get a read on them. One day or one week they're really freaking good, like they could go out there and just dominate any team that's on the field. Next week they look absolutely terrible.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Texas again on this one. I think can go either way. I think it's a 50-50 game with it being a neutral site, but I'm gonna roll with Texas just because I think they look the better.
Yeah, and Dylan went with Georgia. Honestly, in my opinion, this is not a neutral site game because it's down in Atlanta. So Georgia's definitely going to have the hometown crowd there for them. But like you said, I'm gonna go with Texas just because of the fact is that in SEC play it is so hard to beat one team twice in 1 year. Like you've seen it in the past with Georgia and Alabama. If Georgia won the regular season game, Alabama might win the SEC championship game, or flip
Yeah.
flop. All right, so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna follow you, and I'm gonna go with the Longhorns on this one too. I just feel
And I gotta go with Texas because my boss is also a Texas fan. So
yeah, and on top of that, this could potentially knock Georgia out of it completely if they lose.
I don't know if it does that. I think it definitely puts them at a lower seed though.
Yeah, which either way, even if they were to get in, if they lose, they're still not hosting. So that's something that could be, you know, excuse me, something that could be a big scenario too. Is that like hosting or not hosting? That plays a big role in these games. Um, Next game got Penn State and Oregon.
I think Oregon's gonna punch them in the mouth early and often. I think Penn State has no reason to be in this championship game. They got in there by praising miracles because Ohio State can't finish a game. I think Oregon wins this one by more than 3.5, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with another clean sweep here because Dylan picked Oregon as well, and I'm gonna go with Oregon as well. I think it's gonna be pretty ugly because Penn State never shows up in big time games. So
I'm shocked Dylan went with Oregon there, considering he was high praised on Penn State all
yeah,
year.
that shocked me low key. It did because I definitely thought that he was gonna go with Penn State. Um, but yeah, I think clean sweep on Oregon. Because that's tomorrow night. That's a tomorrow night game.
7 o'clock.
Yep. Yeah. So that'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Hopefully Oregon handles their business. Next game we got Clemson and SMU.
SMU has been doing well all season. I said it at the very beginning. Dabo, he's hard to count out, man. I think I'm gonna ride with the Tigers here on this one. It's a neutral site game. Dabo knows how to win in the postseason. He's been there before. He's won, I don't know, I think 4 straight ACC championships now, besides
Yep.
losing to Florida State last year. And I think it's going to be an easy one here. I think we'll ride with the Clemson.
Yeah. Dylan picked SMU. Uh, I've been torn on this one because I think I don't know. Clemson's another one of those teams that like they show up one game and then they don't. It's hard to get a read on them as well and like who's gonna do what. I think I'm gonna go with SMU though. I think SMU will handle business against Clemson. I think they've been playing good all year. Uh, it'll be interesting to see. I'm gonna go ahead and text Dylan and see if he can get a answer. Who's Boise State playing?
They're playing UNLV.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Hopefully he answers. But yeah, while we're waiting on that, we can dive in a little bit more on a game. If there's a particular game that you want to talk about, I'm thinking.
I mean, that Army or not Army, but that Boise State UNLV game. That game is going to be very interesting. I guess is the
Yeah,
best way to say that because if Boise State wins, they get a top 4 seed as a group of 5. If they lose, you have potentially UNLV coming in as that 12 seed, and just Boise State will smell you later. But I don't know, man. It's a very tricky game right there because it's almost like a winner take all, in my opinion.
yeah.
So
It's very as Dylan answers. That's awesome. But like you said, there's a lot riding on that game for both teams because it as me and Dylan were talking about then it goes off of the highest rank off of I can't remember what he said, but then it would fall down to UNLV or somebody else. I can't remember what he was
yeah,
saying. I'd
probably
have to go back.
Army.
Dude, I would hope. I wish Army would get in, but like I just don't. I don't know. What do you think? Okay? Let me ask you this: Do you think Army has a chance if they win the Army Navy game?
Mm,
Because they're doing the championship game tonight, but then they have their Army Navy week next week
they would have to win it by a landslide.
and be on that bubble. But then like
Yeah,
nobody else plays next week, so it's like
yeah.
I feel like they have to win tonight.
But
And
isn't the committee selecting not Saturday but Sunday?
I think so.
So
But
I
see
mean,
that
that
that's
game doesn't even really matter then.
yeah. So like at that like so this is kind of a make or break game for Army too. I mean I don't really see them getting in, but
Which is it's shocking considering they're ten. If they win tonight, they'll be 11-1.
and I wonder if the committee's just looking at it as like they got stomped by Notre Dame. Like so like I wonder if they're just kind of looking at it like okay like they had a good run with the teams that they played against, but putting them in the college football playoff would be almost like an early exit type of situation for them.
Yeah, like it could be something like that. But I mean, it's no other tournament that they set up. Look at Arch Madness or March
Yeah,
Madness.
it. I mean, look at it in the past. Like they had Cincinnati in there one year. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Like so it could be one of those situations where they put them in, but then I don't know. We'll have to see. But do you want to pick from this Boise State game since Dylan answered?
Um, we can.
Well, then I'll start it off. I'm gonna go with Boise State. I think Boise State. I want to see. It'd be fun. It's gonna be fun to see, especially since Boise State. I mean, they lost to Oregon earlier in the year, but they only lost by 3.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're that team that is not necessarily a powerhouse school, but they are able to compete with those. You know what I'm saying? So plus it also helps when you have a great running back in Ashton Genty. So
What I want to see out of Boise State though is I want to see what they can do. I know they haven't really had to test that theory yet, besides Oregon. I want to see what they can do once the Ashton Genty is not running for 200 yards.
exactly, because I feel like that offense is purely based around him right now. And
Literally, because I was watching, I can't remember what game it was. I think it was one of their later games. It was like 28-21 or something. Really, it was a real close game. And Genty already had 3 of the 4 touchdowns.
yeah, I remember that. I can't remember what they were playing or who they were playing, but he he is their he is their offense pretty much.
So I don't know. I would like to see how their offense would look if without him.
Yeah,
So
but Dylan picked Boise State, so
yeah,
are you picking Boise?
yeah. Just because I think their defense is just going to be a little better. I think that's going to be the deciding factor for that one.
Yeah, yeah. Now don't get me wrong. Like I want Boise State to win, but if UNLV wins, I just want to see how that shakes everything up. Like I love the chaos and everything, and I think it would be pretty cool to see how if it just they win and it just shakes the entire bracket up.
Now my thing is, how stupid do you look if you're that UNLV player that transferred mid-season
Yep.
and your team goes and makes the playoffs?
Yep. Or said yeah, like the quarterback did. He was like, I'm not
Yeah,
playing. Yeah. That it'll
like
be interesting. I mean, it. If I'm him right now, I'm like, man, I
see.
just threw away a great opportunity.
Yeah, and that's why I think the transfer portal needs to have limits, man. I think you're having too many guys bounce around. It's like you could possibly make a playoff push right here, and you're gonna say, I'm not playing. I don't really care."
Yeah, like
What?
that's anybody who is just wants to play. They're gonna play. Like I would understand if he was saying, all right, after this season, I'm transferring.
Yeah.
But like
I mean, I
in
get
middle of the
it.
season,
I mean, I get it that being December, that the transfer portal opens up on Monday and it closes on the 28th. So I mean, there's a very tight window there for
yeah,
transfer guys. but I don't know. It's just very nobody fights for a position anymore. It's just okay. I'm not gonna play, or I lose my job. All right, I'm just gonna go look for somewhere else. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play here. I'm gonna go look for somewhere else. Like Cade McNamara, he's transferring again from Iowa.
Yep.
Like fight for a spot, man. So
Yeah. I feel like the transfer portal is just kind of gifting everybody that, like, oh, I'm not going to play here. I don't feel like fighting for a spot. I know that I can play and be the starter, so I'm going to find somewhere that I can immediately go and play. Which I understand that to a certain extent, but I mean, we all get into sports because of competition. Like nobody just gets handed a spot automatically. Like you got to earn it to do it. And I wish the transfer. I wish you couldn't go into the transfer portal until a certain time in the year, not
yeah.
just whenever you feel like it.
Well, that's how it used to be.
Yeah,
You only had a specific window, and it was after the academic year, and that was it.
yeah,
Not I'm mid season. I'm just gonna transfer now. Like what?
yeah,
You still have to complete the academic year, dude.
yeah, yeah. Like the running back from Tennessee, Keith. Did you see where
Yeah.
entered the transfer portal?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he still has. I'm pretty sure he still has like 4 years of eligibility. So like obviously he's gonna go somewhere. I mean
Why is
he
he?
does he what
He was literally played this year.
I don't know. I
Dylan
don't know.
Sampson's most likely going to get drafted this year, so he's going to have the starting job.
Yeah, and then you have I'm drawing a blank. Other running back for Tennessee. Backup for Dylan Sampson. I can't think of his name. What's his name?
There's two of them.
Well, you got Bishop,
Bishop, I think. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
and then you got who else, who's the other one?
Peyton Lewis.
Yeah. So like I mean, in Keith's scenario, like maybe he's looking at it like okay, like I have two guys that are above me right now, and
He's got three.
yeah, well yeah, three including Dylan Sampson, but
Well,
I'm talking about for
Cameron
next year.
Selden.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. I don't know. It's transfer portal is definitely has
I
its
get
pros and cons.
my okay. This is the last thing this I'll say about the transfer portal, and then we can move on. The
Okay.
transfer portal is an issue because people are not just doing it for the sport; they're doing it for the money, and that's
And
where it's getting people in trouble.
that's like don't get me wrong, NIL is amazing because it like in certain cases it's like helping these kids go to school and like basically paying for their entire school. Like
Yeah, if you're a
and
Power Five,
yeah, and then
you're
like
destroying it for a mid major.
yeah, and so it's like, like look at Marvin Harrison Jr.'s case last year. If he would have came back this year, he was going to be making more money at Ohio State than he would be in the NFL this year.
Yeah,
And it's
it's
like at that point, like if I were him, I mean, obviously, everybody wants to get drafted. Like he could have had a season-ending injury this season, and it would have been over. But
yeah.
it's pros and cons, man. Pros and cons. You got anything else on college football?
No, I'm good on college football.
We'll just see how it shakes up, huh?
Yeah, it's
Well,
I
then
hope
let's
I hope it's a crazy one. That's for sure.
yeah, it'll be interesting. One more question, and then we can go on to NFL picks. Um, do you think after this week, do you obviously depending on who wins or loses, do you think Tennessee jumps any, or do you think they stay where they're at?
I think they'll stay where they're at. I think after seeing this last week's committee selections, I think a lot of the spots are very more solidified. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
if you do see any ranking changes, it'll be changed amongst the top four. I don't think you'll see much of a movement in the others.
yeah, yeah. I agree. It'll be fun to watch for sure. I'm gonna be watching all the games this week. So, but let's jump into NFL, JP. You ready for that?
I'm ready for it.
All right. So we're gonna ramble through the picks again, like we just did. Obviously, we'll talk about you and Dylan's teams play this week, so we'll talk about that a little bit. Um, but yeah, the first game on the slate is the Jags and the Titans. So who you got?
Just because I'm a fan, I'll pick the Jags, but I know it's not going to be the Jags. I think the Titans will win this one.
Dylan also went with the Titans. I don't know, man. This is one of those games that like it can like anything can happen, right? Like I but I know my gut's telling me to go with the Titans, so we'll just go clean sweep on that one. Um, you want to talk about that at all, or you want to wait until
Nope.
after the picks? Okay, sounds good enough. Next game we got the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Who you got?
I think I'm going to ride with the Cardinals here. Seahawks have been very up and down. Geno Smith's been up and down all year, which kind of sucks because I have him starting in my lineup this week since Lamar.
Yeah, since Lamar's on a bye week when I really need him
Lamar's
in
on a
another league.
bye. Mr. MVP, Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels is on a bye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
so
tough
I'm going
week
to be
for him.
hurting on this one. I
Yeah,
think the Cardinals get it done.
yeah. Dylan went with the Cardinals. Another clean sweep. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals as well, just because, like you said, Geno Smith has been up and down. The Seahawks have been playing good though. The Cardinals, I feel like, have been playing better. So that's why I chose the Cardinals. Uh,
Let's just say the Jags have won in Nashville one time in the last 9 years.
so we're definitely hammering the Titans money line. Okay,
Oh,
you got it.
hammer
And a
Titans money
hammer,
line.
hammer, and double down on it.
Yeah,
Oh man. The next game we got is the Bills versus the Rams.
I
Did you
think
see
this
where
is
the
gonna be
Bills?
an easy one. I think Bills.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills as well, and so is Dylan. Did you see where the Bills clinched their division the other day?
I think it was like the first time since 2005 a team had clinched it this early.
Yeah, that's insane.
Either that's really good or your division's really bad.
I think it could be a little bit of both. like, um, but the Bills have been playing really, really good, and it just proves that. I mean, Stephon Diggs is really good, but you take that piece out, and everybody's like, "Oh man, the Bills are going to suck this year," right? But then, like now, you see them playing as a team and really playing good football. They're fun to watch for sure. All right, next game we got the Chargers versus the Chiefs.
I'll let you go first because I have my fair comments on the Chiefs right now.
So Dylan picked the Chiefs. Okay, the Chargers versus the Chiefs. Every time that they play each other, it has always been a close game, no matter what. Like obviously this one's in Arrowhead, like hometown crowd. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be cold. Like everybody knows that. Because this is the Sunday night football game.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think the Chiefs have just not been the best team, and they have not been playing good all year, and they just keep squeaking out with these close 3-point games, and it's just like I feel like the Chargers are because the Chargers are on that bubble right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like if the Chargers win this, it just proves that the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs anymore. Like, but I'm going with the Chargers.
I've been saying it all year, even when we did our little Power Five rankings. Chiefs are simply suck. They're the best winning team that sucks,
Yep.
and I'm over it. I hope the Chargers take it to them because there's been one team that has played them all 4 quarters, and it was the Bills, and they beat them in every single category you can name. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sick and tired of the Chiefs saying, "Oh, we're gonna win it." I don't know what 3 times in a row now.
Mm-hmm. Going for
No,
the first
they
three.
could easily be 7-5 if teams could just close out a game. For the love
Yep.
of God, just
Yep.
close a game out.
They should be. They should have their second loss because of the Raiders game. That with
Raiders,
bad.
Broncos. Literally, I can go down the list of teams they should have lost to, but no,
Yeah.
there's been some kind of help, some kind of way. And I went back and looked at that Raiders game. That was a false start. There was
It
no
was 100%.
illegal motion.
Yeah, 100% a false start. Nobody was set, and then they said, "Oh, what illegal motion? Is that what they said or whatever?"
Illegal motion,
Yeah.
and then they gave the Chiefs the ball. And it was funny because I was sitting there talking to my dad, and we were watching it. Raiders were driving. We're like, you know, some BS play is about to happen right now, and the Chiefs are going to get the rewarded the ball by the referees. Ball snapped, fumble. Took 30 minutes, I guess, to call an illegal motion play. Sure. After there was video of the guy saying there was a false start, and they go, and me and Dad look at each other. We're like, "Here it comes, here it comes,
Yep.
illegal motion on the offense, Chiefs ball." It's like seriously.
Yep. And it's
So I'm over it. I'm over it. I get it. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Mahomes is so good." Yes, he's a really good ball player. But holy smokes, they don't need help.
well, and here's the thing: is like I'm not hating on Patrick Mahomes. I'm not hating on Travis Kelsey. Like they have solidified that they are good football players, right?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, there is just something that comes down to it that it's like, okay, like like we were just talking about that false start that was not called a false start. You get bailed so much, and it's like people are just gonna start looking at you and like, okay, like what did they had there was something that was said or something that happened that caused that. I'm not saying that the refs are favoring the Chiefs or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you got to look at it and you just got to be like, okay, like this is definitely something that's going on because they keep getting bailed continuously, and it's I've had enough of the Chiefs.
I
I'm
can't
so
stand
ready
them.
to see
I
them
can't
lose.
stand. I haven't been able to stand them for the last 2 years. So literally every team that goes against them, I'm going to be their biggest fan because I
Yep.
can't stand them.
Yep.
And it's not anything against Mahomes. It's not anything against Travis Kelsey. I just can't stand them. And everybody can be like, "Oh, you just hate them because they win." No, it's because they get bailed over
Every time.
and over and over. And it doesn't matter if you're up 30 points. It doesn't matter if you're up 2 points. The refs or whoever's in control of the game is going to find a way to get them back in the ball game.
Yep. 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 And I'm over it. I'm over the Chiefs. At the beginning of the year, everybody was like, "Oh, they're going to go for their three-peat. They're going to go. They're going to do it. They're going to be the first team to do it." No, they're not. No, they're not. You have the Eagles in the NFC who are playing really good. You have the Lions who are playing really good. I feel like one of those two teams, the Eagles or the Lions, are definitely going to be in the Super Bowl, and one of those two teams is going to be the ones that knock them off.
If the Bills lose to them, or and the Lions or Eagles lose to them, I will know it's scripted.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Like there's nothing you can tell me that will convince me that it's not.
No, to the point of the Lions and the Eagles and the Bills are all three better teams than the Chiefs. The Bills beat the Chiefs, so at that point, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in playoff football? That it's a different atmosphere at that time of the year, but it was finally it was good to see. It'll be good to see when the Chiefs lose.
Facts.
The last the last game on the slate though, JP, on Monday Night Football, we got the Bengals versus the Cowboys.
Mm.
Who you taking? Yeah, that what a rough Monday night game.
You know, Cowboys seem to be doing. I get they have a little life with Cooper Rush. Bengals keep doing everything possible in the book to make sure they don't win a game.
Yeah.
Uh, where is it at?
Dallas.
Give me the Bengals.
Ooh, you're a little okay. Okay.
Dallas can't win at home for some reason. I don't know what their issue is, but they can't find a way to win at home. They get slaughtered at home this year for some reason.
Yeah. Dylan also went with the Bengals. Uh, I think I'm gonna go with the Cowboys just because, like you said, like they're showing life, and the Bengals for some reason are just so stuck on that struggle bus. Like me and Dylan talked about it the other day. Like Joe Burrow is out here having a career like his best year of his career, but they cannot win.
Oh, I
Like
was talking to Drew, and we were saying at the very end of the season they need to be studied.
Yeah.
Like they're
It's
putting up MVP rook like stupid numbers, and they
yeah.
can't win a game.
Yeah, and it's like Joe Burrow is like I feel like he has that pressure of like every time I go out there I have to score. Like if we don't score, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose by the 7 points that we didn't score.
I
And
think they're
it's
the Miami of NFL.
yeah, they you have Jamar Chase who's having a awesome year. You have Joe Burrow who's having an awesome year, and for some reason they cannot find a way to win. And I guess it's you can point fingers at defense not doing their job, but like
Yeah, y'all just gave up 40 plus points to the Steelers. I
yeah,
mean, that's 100% no freaking defense play right there. I mean, the defensive coordinator needs to be fired. You're
yeah.
giving up 40 points to a terrible Steelers offense? Like, what are we doing, man?
Yeah, I wouldn't say the Steelers are terrible on offense, but
They're not
they are
great.
very beatable, very
They're
very
not
beatable.
great on offense.
They're not great on offense, but they are very beatable, and they are the team that is like finding a way to win.
They're,
And
they're not 40 points. Let's just say that. They're not 40
no,
point good.
no, not at all, not at all 40 point. But it's just I don't know. It's we'll have to see because like like you said, I feel like their defensive coordinator needs to be fired as well. Um,
Yeah.
you're allowing too many points. Like your defense is not doing its job. Joe Burrow's out here having to do what he has to do and more. And eventually, there does come a point in time where, like, hey, like, okay, enough's enough. Like,
Yeah.
got to figure it out, or you gotta move on. Um, but yeah, the, real quick, did you see where the Bears are going to San Francisco this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was yesterday. There was a earthquake that hit San Francisco area.
How
Was
about
like
that?
it was like a 7 on the scale or whatever. And now they're talking about that there's like a tsunami warning going on in San Francisco right
That
now.
doesn't shock me.
So like, okay, I don't know. It's just it was weird. Like
And this is why I would
imagine
never live in California.
no, no,
That's literally the number one reason why I would never live in California. You
no.
have the San Andreas fault line,
Yeah.
and then you have nothing but water on the opposite side.
Yep.
It's drier than crap,
Yep.
so you can have wildfires whenever you want.
And
There's
it's
just so
expensive.
many different things.
I don't know, man. I thought that was funny. I was like, oh man. And on top of that, they're not really. Christian McCaffrey just went out, so again,
Don't remind me.
yeah. Which is,
Don't remind me.
did they ever say what happened?
Um, they said PCL.
So how long is he out?
He's out for the year.
Man, he comes back for what? 2 games, 3 games, and gets hurt again.
2.5 games.
That's it. And he was playing. He was playing so good too. Who they play last? Because they were playing in the snow. Was it the Bills?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was playing good against the Bills, and they were getting pounded with snow, and he was actually running the ball really really well. And then
Yeah. It was
everybody just saw him.
funny because I had seen something on Twitter. It was like all McCaffrey owners are so mad. It's like, no, not really. He wasn't. He didn't play all year until literally 2 weeks ago. So I just
Yeah.
kept the same players that I had originally.
If he could be, he is so good as a running back. You, uh, but he needs to stay healthy, and I think that's his problem right now is that he just cannot find a way to stay healthy. Like something always happens. Like obviously, I know injuries and stuff like that, like
I mean,
uncontrollable.
it's the same thing as Mike Trout, man.
Yeah, like it. You just got to find that way to stay healthy, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, maybe he'll bounce back and have an MVP year next year or something like that. Who knows, right?
Yeah,
We'll,
we'll see.
yeah, we'll go off. We'll hope for that. But yeah, I think that's it for me on NFL. Are you ready to move on to the
Yeah,
ice? I see
yeah.
you
Let's
got
move
some
on to the
points.
ice.
All right, let's go. Let's go skate.
Yeah, so actually, quite a few things. Awards, your yearly awards are actually getting and taken into account for now. Connor Hellebuck, the goaltender for the Winnipeg Jets, he is currently leading in the Vinza Trophy Award right now.
What
And
is? If you don't mind me asking, what award is that? Like, what trophy is that?
yeah, so
Just
this
for cool.
award basically measures all kinds of goal stats. So like goals against for average, goals against just allowing overall, and then save percentage, and then save per average. So it's basically, are you doing the best you can as a goalkeeper? Like, are you
Yeah.
keeping the puck out of the net? Like, how is your winning percentage really good? Like, it's like basically all the minor things that you don't even really think of as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, and
Um,
I just realized that I asked that question, and it's the next point that you had on the notes. So once again, I got to be better. I got to be more observant right there. I
hey
didn't
man,
realize that.
I know y'all don't pay attention to hockey, so I make sure I dumb it down for y'all sometimes.
Well, like we said though, once football kind of slows down a little bit, like especially this week in like college football mainly, once that's over, like NFL, like, yeah, okay, cool. But once postseason NFL hits, then that's when I'll kind of go back to that. But once college football's over with, I'm going to be watching more hockey. So
Yeah. So I mean, he's a 15-5 record. I mean, it goes to show for Winnipeg as they're having another great year. I think they have the best record still in NHL.
yeah,
He's only allowing 2 goals a game. I mean, that's what you want out of a goalkeeper. I know everybody's like, "Oh, that's 2 goals." Well, 2 goals is pretty dang good.
yeah,
And so he's saving the puck almost 92% of the time.
that's crazy.
So I mean, that's everything you can dream of out of a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
And then Dallas Stars take a massive hit, losing Tyler Seguin.
I did see this.
He's undergoing hip surgery, so he's out for most likely the remainder of the year. It says 4 to 6 months, but I mean, hip surgery, I feel like for hockey players is a big blow, considering how much
Especially the way that and how like fast and how hard they skate. Like
yeah,
your hip on that is very a big piece of how you move up and down the ice. So
yeah. And so that sucks for Dallas because he's definitely one of their key guys there. And then
yeah,
just bear with me on this last name, Jonathan Marchessault. He is a Predators. He's one of the Predators' top guys that picked up this offseason. He just scored his 500th career point.
yeah,
And for those that don't know what the point system is, it is your goals and assists combined. So he's got 500 career points combined for his entire career. So that's a huge mark for that,
yeah.
especially being him in Nashville. And then Quinn Hughes for the Vancouver Canucks. He's looking to repeat the Norris Trophy. And for those that don't know that, and if you're a Predators fan, Roman Yossi was up for it a couple years ago with Makar from Colorado. It's best defensive men. So whenever you're looking on the ice, you have your 3 attackers. You have your forward, left wing, right wing, and then you have 2 people on the back line, and those are your defensive men. And so he's going back for his repeat on that. And then there's actually quite a few today. Uh, News that came out: the New York Rangers just signed their goalkeeper Shesterkin to an 8-year, $92 million deal,
It's crazy.
and
Did you
that
see where
is a massive one for a goalkeeper.
didn't the Blackhawks coach get fired too?
I haven't seen that in the news. If that
I
is,
thought
I wonder if
I
that's
thought
a
I thought I saw something about it, but I don't know. I can't remember where I saw it from.
yeah. I'm not.
It-
I'm not sure. I didn't see that one. If it was, it must have been really recent. But
Oh, it says Blackhawks fire coach Luke Richardson was in the third year of his 3-year contract with Chicago, which currently has worst record in NHL.
Hmm.
So
That's impressive considering the Predators are on a 7-game losing streak.
yeah, yeah. A lot of shopping going around in Chicago.
There's gonna be a lot of shopping and a lot of teams in a lot of different places.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's be interesting. Be interesting how see how that goes.
But
You ready to
yeah,
go to the MO? You ready to go to the Diamond?
yeah. Let's go.
Is
Let's take it to the diamond.
yeah, buddy. But yeah, you want to take the lead on the
Yeah, man.
Soto case?
Juan Soto, man, he is a hot name going around the league. He is yet to make a decision. But he is starting to narrow the teams down a little bit here. I think that the front running teams here are the Yankees, the Mets, Red Sox, Blue Jays, and the Dodgers. I hate to see the Dodgers in that because they don't need any more talent. At this point, you might as well just make a juggernaut team and just say we're the best team. Might as well be the All Stars.
Yeah, it's literally like it's like how we used to do it when we were kids. Like you would go and play MLB. You would take the All Stars and you'd play against the crappiest team in the league. And that's
So
basically what the Dodgers are going to start doing here in a little bit. Is that they're just going to start paying everybody this stupid amount of money, and they're just going to build this like super team.
yeah, I'm over it. I hope he does not sign with the Dodgers. If he signs with the Dodgers, it's going to be really painful to watch baseball this year.
Yep.
So I'm hoping he can. I don't even care if he signs with Boston or the Mets. Just don't sign with the Dodgers.
I mean, seriously, like anywhere else but LA, please. Like,
uh, but yeah, he's. They said that he's supposed to make a decision sometime this week or this weekend, but we'll see.
I I don't know. I wish he would go to like some team. I'm not obviously I'm a Cubs fan, but I'm saying like not to come to Chicago, but like pick a team like Chicago that is missing that one piece that could be really really dangerous.
They're
And
looking to trade Bellinger now.
yeah, and Suzuki. I was just about to bring that up there. I just saw that was news today that they're shopping those two, which it makes no sense
Oh
at
man,
all why we're trying to trade away two of our best guys in the lineup. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's
But yeah, I
it is
mean,
what it is.
adding Blake Snell and Tommy Edman now, it has brought their team deferred payments over $1 billion.
Like they just
$1 billion as a roster. That has
that's
got to be the highest paid roster in baseball. Has to be.
without a doubt it has to be. I mean, it it's so bad just to watch these teams just throw like especially the Dodgers just throw all this money at somebody and then be like, oh yeah, especially like in Otani's case where all his money is on the back half of his contract. And it's like, yep, come play for us. We're not going to pay you much right now, but you'll get it eventually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just depends on your agent and contract. Because I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. was getting paid. I think his contract finally ended. I think last year, or the year before that, but he was the highest paid player on the Reds, and he hadn't been playing in like 8 or 9 years.
Yep. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
seriously. I mean, if you know how to play the cards right, I mean, good for you, man.
yeah. I feel like MLB kind of like. I think I saw something today where like Juan Soto's contract is going to be like $750 million or something like that.
That's just
Like
stupid.
some like at that point, $750 million, he is going to get paid probably for the rest of his life.
Oh, he wouldn't have to work after playing. He wouldn't have to.
No, no, he would be living the same lifestyle he is right now, just doing whatever he wants whenever he wants, and not having to worry about anything because he's getting paid a stupid amount of money. I don't know. It's
But yeah, leaving LA, man. or possibly leaving LA. Walker Bueller, man, he's getting interest shown by the Mets. That's a pretty interesting take there. I
especially
think.
like
Yeah.
he had a down year this year, but like I feel like the postseason saved him,
Oh, postseason definitely saved him.
and I feel like that's now why he's like, okay, like now he's getting interest from all these other teams,
Yeah, but hey, man,
especially
it
since
is what it is.
'cause didn't the Mets just add Frankie Montas?
Uh huh. From the
Yeah,
Brewers.
yeah. So like obviously the Mets are trying to bolster a little bit, but
Hey, gotta make moves and make that postseason right.
and especially since they were right there this year, so
I mean, I guess Luis Severino had his enough time in New York because he said, "I am out. I am going to the Athletics." He signed a 3-year deal, 67 million. He said, "Peace out, New York. I'm not having this no more."
you think it's because they're going to Vegas?
I mean, they're not going to be there for a while. I think it's going to be another 2 years, 3 years.
Well, they've already. I'm pretty. Aren't haven't they already closed on Oakland?
Well, I mean, they closed on Oakland. They're playing in some minor league park, I think, in San Francisco. And for the meantime, until they build the stadium in Vegas.
So they're going to be the Las Vegas A's, but play in San Francisco.
Yep.
Sounds about right. That's. I think that's the most Oakland thing that they could do.
All right, man.
I don't know. It's
But moving back to Houston, you got Alex Bregman getting offered 6 years, 156 million from the Astros.
did he take it?
Hasn't I had from what I read, he didn't take it just yet. I know all it said was he had just gotten offered that deal, so I think he's looking somewhere else outside of Houston. But I would be shocked if he did not take that deal.
Yeah. I last time I saw that he was still looking around that he hadn't signed with that back with the Astros, but it'll be. I don't know. I love Bregman.
Yeah.
I wish he would get out of Houston regardless because I hate the Astros, but I just wish that he would go somewhere else that would actually where he can play and enjoy playing and not saying he didn't enjoy Houston, but make the money that he deserves and play for a good team.
Yeah. The Blue Jays, man, they're kind of being a little sneaky this offseason. They're
I
trying
was
to
just about to say
just
that.
they're over here just trying to make moves left and right.
Yeah,
So we talked about it, I think, last Tuesday or so, and the Blue Jays were trying to acquire Juan Soto and then Max Fried and everything, and now they're over here trying to steal Corbin Burns from the Yankees, and so they're being a little sneaky. They are in a meeting with them. I think in person. They made a personal trip to Corbin Burns. Burns didn't even have to go to Toronto.
that's crazy.
So it's Blue Jays are trying to make some power moves here,
And tell you
but
what, if the Blue Jays were to get Juan Soto and Corbin Burns,
you're looking for a really good team there, helping
yeah,
Vladimir Guerrero out.
and the Blue Jays they're not even bad either. That's the thing. It's like
They just
they
got to put it
are
together.
they just got to put it together, and I feel like they're another one of those teams that need one or two more pieces, and I feel like those are the two pieces that they need to make that run.
Yeah. And then the Yankees are still trying to. They're trying to get Max Fried. I think they met on a Zoom call, and so they're still pushing to get Fried from the Braves. I don't know if the Braves really are putting much of an effort to get Max back.
I
But
think they're done with them.
if they don't, I'd be very shocked. But I mean, unless they just want to ride behind Chris Sale. But I mean, that's two good lefties back to back you can have on your pitching staff, and you're gonna let one
Even though
walk
Max Fried
easily.
had a down year, but he's
But he was hurt half the year.
yeah, and he's proven himself that he can be elite pitcher at times. So
Yeah, and then back to New York. I feel like I've just been chatting about New York this entire time at this point. Um, they are trying to get Adams now from the Brewers, but I
Adamas,
did,
you mean? Willie Adamas?
yeah,
Who?
yeah,
Because he's their shortstop. So who would he replace?
Gleyber Torres.
Yeah, because Glaber's gone.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So they would replace him with or they would replace Torres with him, but they're only signing him or looking to interest in signing him if they can't get Juan Soto. So I mean, if I'm him, I wouldn't sign with New York personally.
no,
If that's what the trade really comes down to, like if you're only going to sign me because you can't get so and so, screw you, I'm out of here.
yeah, I'll go sign somewhere where that actually wants me to come play for them and not be a backup plan.
Yeah. But and then last thing on the diamond, I guess the Phillies and White Sox trade didn't go through, or nobody or somebody didn't like something, because Alec Baum is now in talk of going to Seattle for either Kirby or Logan Gilbert.
Yeah,
So
which Alec Boehm going to the Mariners wouldn't be bad either. And I feel like the Phillies are just that, like, once again, that one good pitcher away, right?
I don't even
Um,
know if it's the starting pitchers, because
yeah,
didn't their relievers have an issue,
I think so.
or was it vice versa?
It was one. It was one of the two. I can't remember. Um, I want to say it was a bullpen, but they've also had their issues with the starters too. So I mean,
Yeah, I guess one plays off the other.
yeah, either the starters are going to be really good that day, or the bullpen's going to be really good. It just depends on which day they decide to show up.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, you know,
Oh,
that's it for MLB, right? I don't really got much on the NBA. If you have anything you would like to add on NBA, go ahead. But other than that, there hasn't really been anything major going on. I guess you could say.
no, there's not really much major. Other than let's see, Jalen Brown from the Celtics got fined $25,000 for a throat slash gesture towards the Pistons bench. So other than that, there's not really much crazy in the NBA right now. Um, other than that, and then the Warriors are looking to sign a second.
Yeah. I don't know.
Nothing
Once
crazy
again,
going on.
yeah. I think our biggest issues right now are we're talking more about football and baseball because with Juan Soto. But once the Juan Soto case closes, then I think that's pretty much
Kind of level everything out.
yeah. But you got any final thoughts?
No, man. I think this postseason is going to be quite interesting all around for college football, though. I'm really excited to see where teams end up.
I agree. I'm excited. This weekend has a lot of implications for a lot of teams, and it'll be interesting to see how the committee puts it all in and decides who gets in and who doesn't. But yeah, it'll be fun for sure. But well, that's it for us. We will be back on Tuesday. Yeah, today's Friday. Yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday, and hopefully at that point Dylan will be able to join us again, right? But thank you guys for watching the TJD Sports Podcast. Make sure you guys don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure JP, what else they got to do?
Make sure you hit that bell button so every time we go live, it will notify you.
And you'll never miss another moment of the